Cras est nostrum.
That means tomorrow is ours, for those of you who non loqui Latine. I had to look it up too. Don't feel bad. Gungaloosh and welcome. My name's Wes, and this is Addicted to Adventure, your base camp to explore the treasures and mysteries of the adventure genre. Today we're talking about the third episode of National Treasure: Edge of History. As before, there will be spoilers. I'm just going to hit the high points, so I'm not going to spoil everything, but there will still be spoilers, so it's like half spoiled, like Taco Bell. So, you've been warned. Let's go. We open with Jess, who along with Tasha and Liam knock on Dumbass McSneaker's door, asking for use of his mini DV recorder to play an old tape found in Sadusky's secret library. On the tape, we see an academic presentation by Jess's mom, Manuela, from 1999. She tells of the aforementioned sorority of treasure protectors, and we finally learn their name, the Daughters of the Plumed Serpent. Jess's mom talks about Malinche, a slave woman who worked as an interpreter for Hernan Cortez. She claims that Malinche was actually a spy loyal to the Daughters of the Plumed Serpent and worked to protect the treasure from the Spanish. An attendee stands up and challenges Manuela's claims. Another man, Jess's dad, rushes forward to defend her, saying that they will prove the truth of the legend by finding the treasure. Agent Ross gets a call from a medical examiner, revealing that she never canceled the toxicology report for Agent Sadusky and is continuing to investigate Sadusky's death in secret. Jess drags the entire group to Sadusky's secret library to plan the next step of the treasure hunt. Liam reveals his dad was once in possession of the Jade Mayan relic, but died days later in a diving accident, and the relic hasn't been seen since. Seeing no other avenue, they try to decode a clue that will lead them to the location of the Incan relic.
So, we're at a dead end.
Pretty much. I mean, we got this one clue in the third box my grandpa and dad were never able to crack.
The message was passed as Sun King born to peace.
Then we get a nice scene that's over 3 minutes long of the characters actually having to work to decipher this clue. Now this is a little bit better. They still blow through a puzzle that escaped Sadusky and Liam's dad for decades in a matter of minutes, but they do have to at least kind of work their way through the steps of the puzzle. So, I mean, partial credit. It is an improvement. And that's at least something. Now, the answer they come up with is a little on the ridiculous side. But to be fair, I kind of feel like that's a hallmark of the National Treasure series.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
So I suppose a little bit of silliness is kind of par for the course. I think we need to overlook a little bit of that. Basically, Elvis was a Mason and was involved in protecting Montezuma's treasure. They surmise the clue has to do with Elvis Presley's favorite guitar stored in the secret room at Graceland.
And I think I know how to do it.
Of course you do. We cut to Billy, whose henchman is safecracking the Obsidian Aztec relic.
We were looking for clues to the treasure map on the outside, and we should have been looking in the inside.
You were looking on the outside for clues. The outside of a puzzle box. Doesn't looking on the outside of a puzzle box for clues kind of defeat the purpose of a puzzle box? Where, presumably the secrets are kept inside? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Billy nods to an assistant who brings her a secure case. Billy opens it to reveal she has the Jade Mayan relic. Now this raises some interesting questions. Agent Ross meets with the medical examiner who says that Sadusky had an unknown orange stain on his hand and several unknown substances in his system when he died. Billy now has 2/3 of the map and is able to see enough to lead her to a dormant volcano in Mexico. Jess and crew pile into Dumbass's van and head to Graceland. When they arrive, Dumbass McSneakers goes inside to release moths, while Liam and Ethan dress up as fake exterminators. The fake exterminators are forced to split up. Ethan is led to the secret room to check for moths and surreptitiously takes pictures of Elvis's favorite guitar. The plan goes wrong when the real exterminator shows up earlier than expected. The pictures of the guitar don't yield any clues, but they're able to see a gold record for a song that never went gold. Jess rushes in to find the clue herself, and Liam goes along to provide a distraction. With the help of the team and her Rain Man powers, Jess is able to figure out the passcode to the secret room. So this is the kind of thing that only really works if the code is a significant date that is entered in sequence. I guess I can't get too upset about this because this is kind of the same thing that happens in the first National Treasure movie where they're trying to get Abigail Chase's password at Valley Forge. No numbers, no symbols, anything like that. So while I don't love this, it's the kind of silliness that has precedence in the series again. So I don't know. What do? We gotta roll with it. While Jess is breaking and entering, Liam borrows a guitar and begins singing Elvis songs. Jess plays the false gold record in the secret room and records the audio on her phone before making a quick escape. Billy and her lackeys enter the cave within the dormant volcano. There she finds Aztec and Mayan writing. Billy's flunky Nate, while trying to retrieve his downed drone, falls into a trap.
I can see the drone. It's right up there.
Don't take another step! Nate! No! Let me go!
Then we interrupt this fun adventure story for 5 minutes of drama about Jess's immigration status. Now this, at least, doesn't feel blatantly political, because it relates directly to Jess and the story, and I don't feel like I'm being beat over the head with politics. This does actually have some relevance, so I don't have an issue with it. I do have an issue with the fact that it's 5 minutes of melodrama, and the cause of this teenage angst is basically just Ethan. Ethan, I'm going to refer to from now on as Weepy the White Knight. Liam and Jess figure out that Elvis's record was recorded backwards, just like Stairway to Heaven, and upon reversing it, they hear the voice of the king telling them the next clue.
I've got a message from Miss Morning Dove White. The twin-tongued serpent's tail is revealed in fair weather.
That's Elvis.
By the bend in the Newfound Land.
I kind of like this. It gives the impression that they've had to spend quite a bit of time and effort to solve this problem. Billy and her other lackey, Casey, mourn the death of their friend Nate. Now, up to this point, Billy's character was just kind of a stereotypical mustache-twirling bad guy. But this shows a little humanity. It shows a little depth. Billy is actually becoming interesting. Now, we still don't know everything about her. We don't know her motives. We don't know why she is a black market antiquities dealer, so there's room to build on, but this is a definite step in the right direction. Billy talks Casey out of giving up on the treasure hunt and tells her,
Cras est nostrum. To Nate. To Nate.
Then Billy hits us with the second big revelation this episode. She has the Elvis recording too. So how did she get it? Is Sadusky's house bugged? Do Jess and company have their phones tapped? Does she have an insider in Graceland? I guess we have to wait to find out. This episode is a little bit better. Not drastically better, but certainly a step in the right direction, and that's good. It feels a little bit more like the National Treasure movies, especially with the incorporation of a heist, a slightly ridiculous heist that leads them to a clue to the treasure. That's in keeping with the franchise, I would say. We've had some interesting revelations this episode. Billy has one of the artifacts and may have been involved in Liam's dad's death. She also has some way to spy on Jess and crew. We don't know how that works yet. Billy herself is becoming an interesting character. More interesting, in fact, than probably everybody else but Jess. That's not necessarily a good sign for the writing across the board, but it's good for Billy. I struggle to give this a better grade than C at this point. Yes, this episode was better, but I don't think it was enough better to really raise the average yet. It does show promise, though, and that is good. So I will probably keep watching until the floor absolutely falls out, or until I see the season through. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know if you think this is headed in the right direction or if it's kind of a stinker. Also, if you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And until next time, fortune and glory, my friends.